thank God this year, and especially this semester, is over with. I'm Nicholas Herrard, and I'm a freshman, or I just completed my freshman year at the University of Arizona, and I also completed my first and only college-level English class, which was English 109H. So thank God I am done taking English classes for the rest of my life. English has always been probably my worst class since like the first grade. So hearing that I could sign up for an English class that fulfilled all my major requirements in only one semester and also was an honors class was probably the greatest thing. I don't think I've ever been more excited to sign up for an English class than English 109H. And I've never been more excited to be done with the class. The reason I'm glad to be done with English 109H is not because I hated the class. I actually enjoyed taking this English class, which is surprising and probably the only English class I've ever enjoyed taking. Now, why I enjoyed it is because I actually took a lot away from the class. It not only developed my skills as a writer, but it really enhanced my critical thinking skills. In high school, the only genre I knew was the standard essay. No matter what I was writing, it will all come down in the same format of a standard essay. I guarantee if you asked me to write a eulogy, I would have handed you something with sources in MLA format and been perfectly content. Now, this is because the only graded genre in high school were essays, so I never really learned anything else. Also, I had never broken down the rhetorical situation before, so a lot of my writing didn't really appeal to the audience I was writing to or follow the conventions of the genre I was using. If you look at this essay I wrote when I was applying to the University of Virginia my senior year, you can see how I struggled to write something that catered to my audience. This essay was supposed to be about 250 words on something that had unsettled or challenged me. And instead of talking about myself, I spent over half of my words talking about someone else and listing facts. Now, had I done the rhetorical analysis of this writing situation, which is something that English 109H taught me, I would have known that my audience is college admission boards. And college admission boards want to know more about me, which would have made me realize that I should spend more time talking about myself and less time talking about someone else, which would make my essay much stronger. Being able to break down the rhetorical situation of my writing is one of the main things that I've taken away from this English class. Now, although I did hate doing the blog post that asked me to break down the rhetorical situation, it did really improve my writing a lot. This is because it made it easier for me to understand the context I was writing in and also the conventions of the genre I was writing in, which made it easier for me to mold my writing to fit into those conventions of that genre and also the context. Also, by making us use 4 different genres, this forced me out of my comfort zone, which was the standard essay, and made me learn different things. Which brings me to my first struggle that I had, which was learning all the different genres and then learning the conventions of each genre. This involved learning a lot of software that I had never worked before and had no clue how to use. The easiest way for me to learn how to use software I wasn't familiar with was to just YouTube how to do it. So for example, with this video, I had no clue how to make a video prior to actually doing this one. So I just went on YouTube and I searched iMovie tutorial. And then I found a bunch of videos that are very helpful. Now, as you can see, these videos are pretty long, 49 minutes, 53 minutes. So watching all these videos was very time consuming. This brings me to my next struggle, which was time management. Now, time management is something I've struggled with my entire life. Abe Lincoln said, "Leave nothing for tomorrow that can be done today." And I've lived my life thinking the exact opposite. I was the king of procrastination, and I thought I could do the exact same thing in this class. In the beginning of the semester, my time management skills were terrible and I was procrastinating a lot. And as you can tell, all these blog posts were being turned in right before they were due. It only took me one project to realize that there was no way I was going to keep on doing that. And the only way that I was going to stop panicking every Sunday was if I spaced out the work throughout the week. As you can see in my most recent blog post, I stopped waiting until the deadline to do all the work, but instead started spacing it out throughout the week. I found out that the easiest way to do my projects were to type all the information first. So I would do all the blogs related to information on my project, and then later on the week I would look at examples of the genre I was supposed to be writing in, and I would take the text that I had and find a way to mold it into the conventions of that genre. Where I found the genre examples to look at was not only through the ones provided on D2L, but also by peer reviewing, which happened to be the most helpful assignment that we had to do. What was most helpful about peer reviewing wasn't necessarily the comments that people left me when they peer review me. What I thought was most helpful was when I went to peer review someone who had the same genre as me, and I saw a good idea that they had in their project, and I thought, wow, I should have that in my project. For instance, I chose to do a QRG for Project 3. And when I was doing the QRG, I was really struggling on how to make my QRG more visually appealing. So I decided to look at my peers and see what they did and see if I could copy some of it. So I just went to the blog directory for my class, and I saw that Emily Bond was also doing a QRG for Project 3. So then I went to her blog and to her QRG, and I saw that she bolded important information in her QRG, which made it more visually appealing. And I liked that idea, so I decided to highlight important information in my QRG. Wrapping this all up, English 109H was a great class that I learned a lot from. Not only did I learn the importance of making a schedule and sticking to that schedule, I also learned how important it was to know the conventions of the genre that you're writing in. And although I did hate doing it at the time, learning how to break down the rhetorical situations of my project not only improved my writing process by a lot, but also improved my actual writing. And after doing it countless times at the beginning of the semester and before every major project, I now find myself thinking more critically about the sources and information that I use in my writing. Taking this class with Sean Bowtie broke me out of my essay-only shell and taught me how to communicate using a variety of genres. And although it was pretty stressful at times, in the end, it was all worth it. I'm Nicholas Herard, and for one last time, thank God this is all over.
Something told me I should bring my
gotta move it slowly, taking in my body like it's holy. I've been waiting for you for the whole week.